Hello and welcome to YOGATX. My name is Crystal. Today I've kind of got a little workshop for you. So these are my 3 favorite poses to do for low back pain. Also, I'm going to be on this channel coming out with new videos every Monday. So if you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. But we're going to get started with a supine twist, which you may or may not have done before. We're going to start on our backs. And I do have blocks. You probably don't need them, but sometimes they're nice for adjustments. So there's lots of ways to actually do a supine twist, which is something that I like. Now, one common way is we can extend one leg. So I'm extending my left leg. I'll draw my right knee in, maybe give a squeeze. Now you might be practicing in the morning or maybe before bed, or maybe you just have a quick lunch break, you're taking this on, but these can be done anytime. Although if you're about to take a twist, I suggest not eating beforehand. It's not super comfortable. So I'm pulling my right knee over to the left side of my body, and my left leg is straight. Right arm is extended out to the right. And that arm can either be like a T shape, or maybe you bend the elbow for a cactus shape. You can just breathe here. A nice way to increase the twist is to just turn your chin in the opposite direction of your bent knee. Just take a few breaths here. And then we'll come out. Now we're going to stay on this side just because we're kind of workshopping it. So another way you can do that twist is to bend both knees and then arms out T or cactus shape. Let the knees drop to the left. I think that's the side we started on. I never know my rights and lefts anymore. Breathe here. And if you're ever in a yoga class, a public class, these are all variations of a twist you can take. We've got one more variation on this side, and then we'll try them all on the other side. But let's unwind here. And the last option I'll show you is eagle legs. So this is a way to get an even deeper twist. But what you'll do is we'll wrap the right leg over the left, kind of like you're sitting in a chair cross-legged. And it might be a single wrap, or maybe you're able to double wrap. So that's the top of the right foot comes under the left calf. And then I like to lift my hips and bring them to the right and then drop the knees to the left. So this is a lot of twist in the body, but ideally both shoulder blades are touching the earth. So if you find you kind of have to lift the right shoulder blade, maybe unwrap the legs. And remember, you can always come back to either of those other options, the bottom leg straight or just stacking your knees on top of each other. And we'll come back through center. Maybe hug your knees in. You can rock a little bit right and left before we come to the other side. So take both hands to your left knee, extend your right leg out, and we'll use the right hand to pull the left knee across the body. Oh, that's nice. Maybe chin goes in the opposite direction. And I always say you can either weigh the knee down with your right hand, or you can also extend the T or that W shape in the arms here. So there's lots of ways to do one thing. I like to just offer ways that you can find to make it yours. And we'll reset through each option or between each option. So unwind, come back to center, bring your knees together, and then let them drop to the right. The same idea, keeping that supine twist vibe. Come back through center, and we'll set up the eagle legs. So maybe drop both feet down, cross your left leg over the right. So it's like you're stacking the knees. We're not coming to that figure 4 shape. The knees are touching. And then maybe lift your hips, bring them to the left before dropping knees to the right. That'll give you a little more space to let the knees come down towards the earth. Now I find that this is the deepest twist that I feel in my body, but one of the other ones might be more comfortable in yours. All right, let's unwind, come back through center. Again, if you want to rock right and left a little bit, you can. But our next position for low back pain, we're going to come to a seat. So find yourself up, and then we'll find Janu leg. So we'll start with right leg extended. Left knee is bent. And then take your left hand inside the left leg. And then, left hand, right arm up and over. Let's forget when I'm mirroring. Again, right and left are really hard as a yoga teacher. Now, something I've been craving in my body this week is a little bit of a leg variation here. So you can keep this foot touching the inner thigh, or you can come to a half hero pose. So the extended leg will stay the same. And then I'm going to take my left leg to half hero. So that's kind of like heel touching the outer part of my left glute. And then I'll come to that same shape. But what you can also do from here is this right hand, you can thread it underneath the body, and reach for the heel, and then take the side bend. And I find that this lets me really reach for my toes. Again, yoga is a practice I've been doing for a long time. So if that doesn't quite feel accessible for you today, don't worry. You don't have to grab your toes in this pose. But I find that this gets a lot of length through not just the side, but also through my low back. And that's through the side that my top arm is reaching. What does that even mean? So right now we're leaning to the right. So I feel this in my left low back. All right, and then we'll release, we'll switch it out. If you'd like, between sides, you can windshield wipe your knees right and left. And then we'll extend the left leg out. We'll start with the right knee bent, right foot touching the inner thigh. Take that side bend up and over to the left. Breathe here. And then if you want to try that half hero's pose, you can come up and readjust the bent knee so that the foot is outside the hip. Now this might not be super comfortable. Maybe your knees are sensitive or your ankle might not feel super comfortable, but this is just an option I like to offer. Option to thread the left arm under the leg, and maybe you can grab onto the heel. That kind of gives your base support so you can really reach for the toes. But again, those might not be accessible today, and that's okay. You can just extend the fingers to the side of the room. And then release, come back up. If you want to take that windshield wipe movement through the knees once more, go ahead. And then this last pose for the low back pain is actually another twist, but we're going to come into it from our bellies. And this is kind of a two-step process. So I always say come onto your belly and then cactus your arms out. So you've got like this nice, 90-degree angle shape in the arms. And I'm going to bend my right knee and then slide it out to the right so it's in line with my hip. And I'll let my left ear rest on the earth. So as you can tell, this is not a twist, not yet. But I always like to start here because this is really grounding and really comfortable. Sometimes I just like to sleep like this. If you want to increase the twist from here, you can also turn your gaze opposite direction from your bent knee. And I don't really like how that feels in my body, but it might feel good in yours. So take that option if it's calling you. And then from here, to work towards the big twist, we're going to lift our heart. I'm going to take my left hand and thread it underneath the right arm. Oh, I've got to adjust my pack. Thread it underneath the right arm and really reach for the right side of your space so you can get the back of your left shoulder on the earth. And once you can't reach anymore, we're going to release the right fingertips and reach them up to the ceiling. And you'll keep rainbowing that hand up and over. Ooh. And we want to work both shoulder blades towards the earth here. Now, the bent knee might come off the earth. Know that that's okay. If that's uncomfortable in your body, this is where a block might come in handy. You can place it underneath that knee for support. And then at this point, my elbow that is touching the earth, sometimes I'll bend it and use that to restabilize. So I'll lift and readjust. And once again, the goal is to work both shoulder blades down to touch the earth. So if you notice, we are back in that supine twist. It's very similar to that shape we took from our back, but we came into it from a different way. I find that sometimes just the entry can make all the difference. And then we'll come out by rainbowing the right hand up and over to meet the left. We'll come back onto our bellies with both legs extended out behind us. And then widen the elbows apart. Bend the left knee. Send the knee out to the left. And then lower either ear down. If you want, you can also place a block underneath your head here. Sometimes it's nice to use block as a pillow. Or sometimes we just really need that grounding towards the earth. And then option to stay here, or you can lift your heart. We'll work towards that final twist on this side. Take your right arm, thread it underneath the left. Really reach for the left side of your space. So reach, reach, reach. Get the back of your right shoulder on the earth. And then lower the ear down as you lift your left hand up and over. So sweep open, and I'll press my right elbow into the earth to lift and readjust that bottom shoulder blade so it comes out wider to the side. And my bent knee is not touching the earth here, but this feels really nice in my body. Arms can be teed or cactused. Again, maybe take your chin opposite direction of the bent knee. Really squeeze everything out. And then I like to come out of this. Here's a fun way. We're going to come onto our backs. So I like to take my bent knee and bring it up towards the ceiling and then readjust to the center of the mat. From here, you can find your Shavasana, or you might find maybe a few other movements if this is your movement, your practice, your exercise for the day. Take what you need. Maybe that's a few breaths in stillness. Maybe it's a windshield wipe of the knees right and left. And then as you're ready, you can meet me in a seat. Take your time. If you wanted to stay on the floor and keep moving, I invite you to do so. Right, bring your hands somewhere on your body. And we'll seal this little workshop with a breath together. Begin to exhale all your air out. Inhale through the nose, fill your lungs. And sigh it out. Thank you so much for joining me today on YOGATX. Again, my name is Crystal. If you like what we're doing on this channel, please like and subscribe. You can also find and follow me on Instagram. My handle is at its_CRYST, 5 A's and an L. It's Crystal. Namaste.